What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Paranormal Happy Hour. Tonight, I have Rob Simonelli from Helmeta Fire Department, as well as P.R.A.T Paranormal. Yes, this guy, he's a first responder. That's actually how we met, by the way. I didn't even know he was a first responder, paranormal investigator until, I don't know, a couple years ago. So let me do the introduction, and we'll bring him on. Computer's being stupid, so there he is.
Hello.
So this is Rob, everybody. So he's part of P.R.A.T Paranormal. He's been investigating him by himself since 2011. That's when he joined his first group, and he formed his own group in 2015. They're based out of Helmeta.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. They're based out of Helmeta, New Jersey, which is in Middlesex County. For those of you that live out there, lovely Middlesex County, very crowded. But we actually met when we were on the rescue squad in Madison Park.
Yeah, long time ago.
That was some fun times.
Yeah, they were.
What was that bar we used to go to in South Amboy?
Yeah, I can't even remember the name of it.
I remember being drunk and trying to steal one of the rigs. I remember that. I remember that.
I don't know if the statue was.
Yeah, that I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I know the girl I was with, she stopped me. She ripped me out of the truck after I started it.
Good times.
Yeah, it was. We had some good times with the fire department and the rescue squad and all that. We got to get together and start and do some investigations.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
You know, we got some other stuff. We got some good stuff coming up. We got a train wreck next month that happened up in Washington. The Rockport train wreck. We're going to investigate that. Like 50, I think it was like 50 or 52 people died when the train derailed and went on. The engine went on its side, and the first two coaches they scraped along the engine and burst a steam valve.
Wow.
So these people were literally cooked to death in the first two cars.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, catalyst for paranormal activity.
Oh yeah. I don't think anybody's really investigated. I think I know there's a chapter in a book, and I have it. It's somewhere over there. But it's from what I heard, it's pretty gruesome. I've seen some pictures of it. Anybody can go Google Rockport train wreck, and it'll pop up.
Wow.
But now I'm hot. Been cold all freaking day. All right, so why don't you tell us about your group and what you guys do and what you guys can handle and all that stuff?
All right, so we were established in 2015. I was with a group prior to that, and we weren't doing much. So my wife at the time and we decided to branch off and form our own group. And pretty much the way I investigate is how I was taught with my first group. They taught me a lot of very valuable things, and I'll always thank them for that. And their style of investigation was the way that Ghost Hunters, TAPS, does it. And it's more of a scientific approach. We try to find logical explanations for things. And yeah, that's pretty much what we do. We don't take demonic cases. That's just a personal choice for me. I have run into some demonic things, and it was there's a little bit more going on with that, but so yeah, it's just a personal choice. We don't take demonic cases.
Well, if you want to send them up my way, we'll take them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're protected, you should be all right.
Yeah.
Especially if you're only going to be there for one night.
Yeah, true.
You know, I mean, but there is that 1% chance, you know.
Yep, exactly.
It's like a condom. You're 99% sure that you're not going to get pregnant, but there's always that 1%.
That's right. Exactly. Yep.
You know, but yeah, because I think you sent me one a while back. I think it was end of last year.
Yeah, it was.
It turned out she had some issues other than that. She got into Satanism and renounced God and all that stuff. So, uh, unfortunately, she was in Maryland and I couldn't get down there. So
Okay.
I found her a group, sent her some renunciation prayers, and told her to go to church.
Yeah. Yep.
Because in reality, and when dealing with something like that, church is the best way to go.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, it's always I've changed my style of investigating. I used to be a Zach Baggins.
Yeah.
I used to be that guy yelling at them, "Come on, you motherfucker!"
Yep.
Until I had some I had some pretty serious I guess possessions you would call it,
Yeah.
body takeovers. One of them was in Gettysburg at the orphanage.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was an interesting night. I was
That's
down,
right by the Jenny Wade house, right? It's
yeah, across the street in that big parking lot there.
yeah. Yep.
And I was down in the basement in the back, um, in the pit. I was there all night long.
Right.
And we had two cops in the group, off duty cops, and they had their guns on them. They're off duty guns. So I started, yeah, you're gonna get arrested. Yeah, big mistake there. That was a big mistake. All of a sudden, I saw this white mist coming, like forming into my nose and my mouth, and I ran out of there, and I got lost. I got
Wow.
lost in the foyer, and the best way to do it is be in like a smoky fire. When you get lost in a smoky fire,
Right.
oh, it was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Once I got out, I slept great that night. 12 hours of sleep. I was nice and rested. Of course, I had to hear it from my wife the next day, but
Yeah.
she didn't like that.
We investigated in 2017. We investigated, and I'm not gonna say the name, but we investigated first aid squad in this area. And when I was doing the paranormal stuff as an amateur before I even joined a group, um, we were kind of investigating the building and everything. And we caught some pretty interesting stuff back then. But when we went to go reinvestigate, um, it was definitely interesting. In the so years, um, we had better equipment and everything, and
Yeah, you're
we
starting
got
to
a
break
lot
up
of
a little bit.
EVPs. Oh, I'm sorry. We got some EVPs and everything. But as far as orbs, I've never really been too much into orbs. But the orbs that I did catch were, you could definitely tell they were orbs. I had one and I was sitting in a room by myself, and I felt like somebody was next to me on my left side, and I kind of looked. And when you watch it back on the camera, you see this orb just kind of just materialize, and it just
Mhm.
comes straight, and then right before it hits my head, it just disappears.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and the last EVP that we got, and it was at first I didn't know what it was saying till I listened to it back on video, um, and what it said was, "You helped me." So when I heard that, I choked up and I was like, "Wow, what we did,
Nice,
helped this spirit." So,
nice.
and after that, they haven't had any issues, no noises, no nothing. We were called there mainly because the EMS director, well, he didn't believe in ghosts until the one day, well, he called me and wanted me to come see him in his office, and I wasn't working there, so I went down there, and I asked him, what was going on, and he said, well, I just got here, and two of my male crew members were arguing in the locker room. I said, "Okay, what do you want me to do about that? I'm not a cop." He goes, "I have an all-female crew today." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then
Nice.
there's another instance where they had a new brand new rig, and they were trying to put it in service and everything. They I guess broke for lunch or whatever, and they had all the doors open, um, because, oh, actually no, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. All the doors were closed. They heard something out in the bay. They went out there, and all the doors of the ambulance were open. That unfortunately was not caught on the security footage because
Oh,
they didn't
man,
in
that
that
would have
bay.
been awesome.
Yeah, yeah. But even like when I was working there, there was times where I would hear things, and then even when I had access to the camera system, there'd be nights where I'd watch it and I'd see, a mist form and everything where our old office was and everything. It was pretty interesting.
Is this the one that got flooded out in the
Yep.
one story? Okay.
Yep. That's the one.
Yep. Yeah, I heard that was one. I think every rescue squad and firehouse has something in it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yep.
I know. I was on one in the middle of the night. We heard the door open up,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay. I woke up. I looked around. Everybody's where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And the door's wide open. Okay, that's interesting. So I went back, closed it. Next thing I know, the man door is opening and slamming shut. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like finally went back in the bay. I went, shut the frick up. I'm trying to sleep here. Some of us got to go to work in the morning, and it stopped.
Wow.
But every once in a while you'd hear the people walking around upstairs and
Yeah. Yep.
people talking and stuff like that when there's nobody, and you're the only one in the building.
Wow.
When I was on the one fire department, remember Hurricane Superstorm Sandy?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was spending the night at the firehouse. Now we had the Jewish yeshiva school where our firehouse was, and their dorm was right next door to us.
Okay.
And they'd be up all hours of the night talking, yelling, screaming, and all that stuff. But all of a sudden, I started hearing voices and things. I'm like, what the hell? Get up, look outside, nobody there. Like, okay, that's interesting. Go back to sleep. I hear it again. I'm like, all right, that's it. I put my phone on. I got a couple EVPs from it.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, I don't remember what they were. I remember getting them, but I don't remember what they were. But boy, I think every firehouse, every rescue squad building, even police stations,
Oh yeah.
have their own residual energy and stuff like that.
Yep.
I mean, crap, Edison station is how old? How many people have OD'd in there?
Yeah. Yep. There was one night I was here, and this was back in 2012 or 2013. I was here. It was middle of the night. I was working on some reports because I'd just become lieutenant, and we had a ladder truck at the time and had a bell on the front. And I heard the bell ring.
I remember that stuff. Yeah.
And I thought it was one of the guys messing with me. So I crept down the stairs and everything. I was see if I.
Yeah, you're starting to break up again.
Yeah, I think it's the Wi-Fi here. So I figured whoever's here is going to be out in the parking lot somewhere. So I checked the parking lot. No one was here. And I was like, all right, that's interesting. And then just recently, about a year ago, I was down here with one of the guys. And it was like probably about maybe 1:30 in the morning. We were getting ready to head home. And he, I guess, left his soda or whatever on the bumper of the truck. And we were getting ready to go out the door. He's like, oh, hold on. Let me grab my soda. Okay, no problem. So he starts to go grab his soda. And all I hear is, hey. I'm like, what? He's like, what? I said, you didn't just say hey? He goes, no. I'm like, cool. And he's like, no, let's get out of here. I'm like, no, that's cool.
I love those. That happened to us when we were down in Antietam.
Yeah.
At the Antietam guest house. And it was me, my wife, my medium, and her boyfriend at the time. And both are, she had a baby, so she doesn't really want to do the demonic stuff. So
yeah, it makes sense.
And we walked out the back door. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's a 3-story house. And It was there during the war, during the Battle of Antietam. So it was actually on the Confederate, I want to say retreat, but I don't think that's right. It was on the Confederate side.
Okay.
Well, we all walked out to go out to Shepherdstown, and all of a sudden we hear, hello. And in the guy's voice, I'm like, I'm looking at her boyfriend. He's looking at me. We're all looking at each other like, who the hell said that?
Yeah, Shepherdstown. That's a pretty happening town.
Yeah, I unfortunately, there's no way to do any investigations there. They won't let you.
Is it because of the TV show, or?
No, it's just people aren't open to it, I guess. They don't want people in their houses. Most of the stuff with private houses.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if you do the Shepherdstown Mystery Walk,
right.
that is awesome. They take you all around the town and stuff. We had a private walk done when we were there, and all that. And then there's actually a vortex in there.
Really?
Yeah, you know where the clock tower is?
Yeah.
That building? Right behind there, off to the, if you're looking at the building from Main Street, off to the right, there's actually a vortex there.
No
And
kidding.
yeah, when you walk in, it's weird when you walk into it. It's you get very disoriented, dizzy, like you're gonna collapse.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And then I was talking to one of the cops down there and stuff, and I asked him, I said, "What's the craziest thing you've seen?" He's looking at me, he's like, "I don't know, they're all crazy."
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. I occasionally talk to Mike and Mike King and
Yeah.
then
Yep.
and stuff. Every once in a while. I saw him last October. He was down in Martinsburg at the Roundhouse
Okay.
for their event for their
Yeah.
Halloween.
I used to talk to him all the time. Well, not all the time, but every once in a while. And then he deleted his Facebook, I guess. But
Yeah, he was having some issues with the town, and
yeah.
then he had some personal stuff going on. I don't want to say it on here, but
Yeah. No. No.
yeah. So he kind of like walked away from social media. So
Yeah.
unless he has your number,
Yeah.
you can always go down there and just talk to him, and he'll talk to you.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, but
One of the
I
things
still,
that one of the things that got me interested in the paranormal, investigating the paranormal, was I guess I would say my first experience would be I was in Gettysburg actually. I had two experiences that whole trip. We were doing the ghost tour, and we were in the Jenny Wade house, and
Mhm.
I was with my best friend and his grandparents, who they're younger, and so we were in I guess it was like the living room, if I remember correctly. And I was standing like this, and his grandmother was right here, and he was here. And next thing I know, I feel like somebody tugging on my pocket of my shorts. And so I looked at him. I said, "Was that you?" And he's like, "Was what, me?" I'm like, "Were you just tugging on my shorts?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "All right." Um, and then when we got into the basement, uh, his grandfather felt like somebody, like kind of like that on his back.
Mhm.
He thought it was me. I said, "No." And again, I was standing like this. And I said, "No, it wasn't me." And so then we were, I guess, towards the end, if I remember correctly, we're walking down a trail, and I guess we were in the back of
Cutting out again.
2003. Actually, it was 2003. Um, and so I might get the details a little, mixed up as far as location and stuff. But it was almost like an alleyway kind of, but there was like a field or something with a big tree. And so the tour guides walking backwards, telling us about all this stuff. And it was actually the anniversary of the 150th reenactment, or
Okay.
yeah, the 150th.
Yeah, I
And
think we were there for that one.
yeah, so I saw what I thought was a Union Civil War soldier, and I figured, okay, whatever, reenactor. And so I pointed out to my friend's grandfather, who's a big Civil War history buff, and he goes, "Wow," he goes, "that guy looks really authentic." And he went behind the tree, and then we were actually walking up to where that tree was, because I figured maybe he
Mhm.
sat down, take out a cell phone or something. I mean, back then it was a flip phone, but we got up to the tree and he wasn't there, and there was
Flip phones.
nowhere for him to go.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're also a reenactor too, aren't you? You still doing it?
Yeah, I was doing the reenactment for a little bit. I'm still with the group. I just don't have a uniform that fits. And yeah. I was much bigger than I am now. I was about 100 pounds heavier. 2018, that all changed, and I lost 100 pounds. So I don't fit into
Yeah,
anything.
you look pretty good. I think I
Thank you.
gained your 100 pounds, but yeah, I've always wanted to do reenacting.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything on during reenactments? Ever had any experience?
No, actually, I haven't. No, no. Now I'm thinking about it. No, I haven't.
Nice, because I see every once in a while when I was frequently going to Gettysburg, a reenactor would come into the store, and then I was in and just talk to him. Hey, seen anything lately? Blah blah blah. Everybody knows the story in Gettysburg.
Yeah, yeah,
You but yeah, I think that's how I got into the paranormal too. Well, that and Ghostbusters.
yeah. Yep.
Those movies babysat me when I was a kid. But yeah, it was my sophomore year. No, I don't know. One of the years in high school, I went out to Penn State for football camp,
Okay.
and it ended the weekend of the reenactment. So my father came out, picked me up, and we went out to Gettysburg for the weekend. And we were out in Devil's Den, and I'm not thinking anything of it. And I saw what I thought was a reenactor standing up on the top rocks.
Yep.
And it turns out it was the spirit of the Texan, the apparition of the Texan.
Okay. Yeah.
And I looked up towards Little Round Top there, and I looked back, and he was gone. I'm like, okay, where the hell did he go? Then I looked in the parking lot. We're the only car in the parking lot. No bikes, no cars, nobody walking, nobody's around. And I'm like, huh, I guess I just saw my first ghost.
Right. Exactly.
You know. So and then from there, it was I just go around with a camera taking pictures, and then I got more into it. And then once Ghost Hunters came out, forget it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a whole corner over here for gear at the moment.
Yeah. When I had that experience, it kind of freaked me out, but I was kind of intrigued,
Yeah.
and I kind of wanted to know more. But at the time, if you were into the paranormal, you're kind of considered kind of weird. So then when
I think you
Ghost
still are.
So when Ghost Hunters came out, I started watching that, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. It's nothing to be really scared about. And
Yeah.
then I joined the group and everything, and I took what I learned from them, and I took a little bit, like, not learning anything, but as far as their style, and I was like, you know what, that's the type
Mhm.
of group that I want for my group is to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
not so jumpy, but to try and figure out why, you know, the big
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Shit. I don't know. I don't know about you, but that's all case files.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I've
all
been
case
really,
files in there and stuff.
been,
Some of
been a
them
little,
are some of them are still pending. Some of them are not. Some of them are I
yeah,
gave up because the client doesn't want to listen. And I got one. He's hearing voices. Gone through everything I could think of. No, there's no activity in the house. There's
right,
nothing. There's nothing around him. No EVPs. No EMF readings. Nothing. And it's telling him it's a demon. Well, I just told him, I said, dude, you got to go get. I'm done because he's going to people that used to be on my team and are actually doing more harm than good. And I told him, I said, dude, I'm done. You're not listening to a word I say. If I'm going to tell you this is one thing and the one thing only, you need to go see a psychologist because you have
yeah,
every single sign of schizophrenia.
it's funny, yeah, yeah,
So I'm just like, I'm done. There's nothing more I can do.
yeah.
So
The case I'm currently working on, the people are really wonderful. I don't want to say where it's at. I was talking to you a little bit about it before, but
yeah,
it's
it's
still an ongoing.
in Jersey.
Yeah, yeah,
Jersey.
still,
It's a broad area.
yeah, exactly. Still an ongoing case. But the people are really wonderful. They reached out to me through Facebook, and I initially didn't get the message for some reason. I guess the Facebook business profile thing hasn't been working. So then
Yeah.
they were able to email me, and I got the email, and then I was able to set it up. And the history there is pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to kind of getting back there and seeing them and trying to not necessarily help them. They think it's kind of cool, but they just want to know what's there and to the extent. But the first time we were there, we didn't get too much evidence. Got a couple EVPs. That was about it.
Hmm.
But in this is my theory, and I kind of want to get your take on it too. When you're the first person to investigate somewhere, because I've had it happen over in South River. John Watkins' brother-in-law's old bagel store.
Oh, the one on the corner there.
Yeah, yep,
What the
yeah.
heck name of that road?
It's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Main and Reed, right? Main and
yes,
Reed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The
So
old car dealership.
that investigation was phenomenal. And I don't think anybody ever investigated there before. We had I don't think we got any EVPs, but as far as our spirit box, that thing, they were using that to communicate, and it was it was mind blowing to me because that was the first time I ever
Nice,
really used the spirit box.
nice.
Um,
Yeah,
But
that's a
then
beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
yeah, and then you have some investigations where, you're the first, first group to ever investigate and nothing really happens. But the more you go back, it's like kind of like it's almost like, kind of getting used to like a cat or a dog or something. They don't want anything to do with you until you're like come around a little bit more and then okay,
Yeah,
you might be cool. Maybe I'll talk to you,
yeah. Well, you got to look at it this way. They've been there for how long, and
Yeah.
you're entering their house as a stranger. So they don't,
Absolutely. Yep.
they don't know you. So you try to be respectful and all that. Don't go in like doing what Zach Baggins used to do
No.
back in the early days. Fucking, you know,
Yeah.
Mr. Macho Man over there, and it cost him a lot. He had many attachments. I think he still has attachments to this day because of what he did,
Yeah.
of all
And I
the
mean,
stuff he used to do.
the house that he bought, when he did, I don't know if you saw that documentary, but that's the reason why he wears glasses now.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He wasn't even provoking in that house.
No, he wasn't. No.
Everybody, I was just watching that the other day. Everybody that was involved in that case, him, his cameraman, the doctor, was Dr. Barry Taft, the
Yep.
home inspector. They all had some kind of medical issue to this
Right.
day.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to it's provoking is, unless you know what you're doing, provoking is not the way it goes time. I see a
Exactly.
lot of people. In fact, I was just watching a video the other night about a team, and first words out of their mouth, "We invite you to come talk to us," and I'm like, oh,
Mm.
I'm like, why? Why are you opening that door?
Yeah.
Because that's one hard door to close.
Yep.
I've been trying to close the portal in my toilet for a freaking year and a half.
And that is some dark energy.
Yeah, seriously. There's a lot of noises that come out of that.
I don't even want to know, Dan. I don't want to know.
I mean, we haven't experienced anything lately with it, so it's. I think it closed itself, or they got tired of it. Because I always told them, if you're when something would happen, if you're gonna be here, you're gonna start cleaning my damn house. Nobody lives here for free.
Exactly. Yep.
So, and I guess it worked because they're gone. I mean, the portal's still there because every once in a while I go over there with the dowsing rods and they cross, so it's still there.
Yeah, that's one thing I've never used, and I've always kind of wanted to. I just never
I've
really used.
used them. I've used them a handful of times. One of them was down here in Highbridge at the Solitude House. I got one of my friends who's a medium in South Carolina. She's actually supposed to be here tonight, but she had an emergency. But she
Okay.
told me that there's two Revolutionary War soldiers still buried on that property.
Wow.
And I think I might have found it, but the lady who does the historical society, is in charge of the historical society, kind of pushed me out. So I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
I still got all my evidence and stuff. So if they ever want it, it might cost them a few bucks, especially now
Yeah.
with gas. Yeah,
What was,
$5 a gallon there.
what was the best piece of evidence you've ever caught?
Oh, the best piece of evidence was probably a picture at the Daniel Lady farm in the barn. I took a picture of another investigator, and there's a spirit standing right next to her.
Right next to her. Yeah. Yep. I've
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah, that's probably the best picture I've ever. That's my favorite picture. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, I mean, because at that point you just click, 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 and then looking at it like, holy shit,
Yeah. Yep.
you know. But we did at that place. I did see a soldier in the barn.
Really?
I don't know if you've ever been there or not.
No. No.
In the barn, it was it was on the Confederate retreat, and they were using the property as a hospital.
Okay.
And the barn was where they were doing all the amputations and all that. They had it sectioned off.
Right.
And what they did, we were standing there with the poltercom, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I saw something walk from left to right, and I caught it. I looked at it just as it disappeared, and I ran outside because there were people outside, so I figured maybe it was somebody in the window
Right.
walking by. I ran outside. Everybody was way down by the river and off in the field and stuff like that. I'm like, damn it, nobody got a picture of that. I mean, it was a full-bodied apparition, as clear as day, as solid as you and me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that was an amazing. That would have been an amazing capture.
Yeah.
There was like 8 of us standing there too, and everybody saw it at the last minute.
Wow.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. The best evidence that I've ever got. well, the best EVP that I've ever got was the the one that I was talking about before with the "You Helped Me," and then in
Mhm.
that same investigation was, and it's it's very interesting because I don't even know why, but so uh I had the camera, and then
Mhm.
I forget, I had something else in my other hand, and then one of our other guys, Todd, had stuff in his hands, and then the way the camera was panned, it was on my ex-wife, and it was weird because she's a medium and everything, and she had picked up on some stuff that was there, but it was weird because you saw what looked like an arm, kind of like, and it was a shadow, and it went up and then down, and then I showed that clip to a couple people, and they said, "Oh no, that was probably your arm." I said, "Why would I? I would never make that motion. It makes no sense." Um, but and
Plus, you'd
that
have
was
to block out the light.
yeah, that was the
Yeah, when you see it on
investigation.
the camera.
That was the investigation that I didn't want to reveal the name. However, for those who are interested in wanting to see the whole investigation, it's on our YouTube channel, and it's titled "New Beginnings, Same Old Ghost."
Nice.
Yeah,
I'll have to go check that out later.
yeah, yeah. It's about 15 minutes long, but yeah, that was probably one of my favorite investigations because it had meaning.
Yeah. Nice. I got so many. I mean, I've been everywhere. Gettysburg, done everything Gettysburg. It's the point where like, I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
We're going back for pleasure, not ghost hunting.
Have you ever
You
done
know.
Penhurst?
Oh, I Penhurst. My wife still wants to go back there because she wants to get me attacked again.
Yeah, Penhurst. I had a good time last time I was there. I was with my old group.
Yeah,
You know,
we're gonna eventually we're gonna do it. We're trying this year. With the way things have been going, we're trying to not spend a lot of money.
yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
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 especially now with gas prices the way they are. Nobody has any money because of COVID and all that. So we're just kind of doing like local stuff, free stuff. We're doing a lot of train wreck stuff and train stuff.
yeah,
Like Highbridge has a lot of haunted history. If it would ever stay warm, I want to get out and investigate Highbridge.
yeah.
But I know there's you have the train yard in here. The railroad came through. You got Phillipsburg, the train yard out there. So there's a lot of stuff out there around here that we can investigate.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of mediums that I know come to the town and be like, "Yo, what the hell?" you know. So it's just one of those things. I just gotta wait for the weather to get warmer.
Yep. Yeah,
Yesterday was great, but I was busy.
yesterday would have been really good.
Oh
I
hell yeah!
warm weather.
Oh yeah! I'd like the cold weather because I have a snowplow and I
Yep.
plow snow and all that. And I want one more storm, one more good storm, and I'll be okay. But you know, Mother Nature's being a bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's we're trying to just do like free stuff, and if somebody calls us, depending on where we're going, we may take it or not. And it's with the price of gas lately, it's retarded.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yep.
We were supposed to do the day it snowed. We were supposed to do Selma.
Okay.
And I canceled it. Because of the snow, because of the storm. And it's a good thing I did, because the guy on the phone's like, "Oh, it's only supposed to rain down here." Well, it's supposed to be 4 inches up by me.
Right.
I went down there the next day for that Monday for work.
Mm-hmm.
I delivered a load down there. There's like 4 inches of snow on the freaking ground. I'm like, yeah, so much for rain there, pal.
Right. Yeah, good thing you didn't go down.
Yeah, No, it was just going to be two of us, so it was just like, two of our other members had to work, and it was just like, just cancel it. Reschedule. But yeah, I mean, around here, like I said, dude, there's a lot of people. I get people all the time on Facebook when I post something. Oh, my house is haunted. Okay, you want us to come check it?
Yeah, I've had a lot of those too.
Yeah. Or I get the one. I got a demon. Good job.
Exactly.
How do you know you have a demon? Well, this happened and this happened. That's what I don't like about this.
Yeah.
People can go on on my website. I have signs and symptoms and stuff like that on there.
Yeah.
Go on there and to get my attention. Yeah, I have this, and this. It turns out to be nothing. I get a lot of those. I would say probably about 85, 90% are those.
Wow.
I don't know. But,
Yeah, I had one where the lady contacted me and said that she wanted me to come investigate her house because she had the paranormal activity she explained was like out of this world. I'm like, okay, this sounds like it could be good. And then she went on, talking about, I guess how she did some research on a house and there was murders back there or back in, I guess the early 1900s or whatever. And
nice.
then she said something that was kind of little off. And I realized she was describing so she was describing the show Boardwalk Empire, one of the episodes, and I didn't know it at the time because I had seen Boardwalk Empire. And
I've heard people that doing that.
yeah, it was the
It's always
episode.
that show.
It was the episode where it was I guess I don't know, a couple people got murdered at the funeral home when they were in the making the moonshine or whatever. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And I started. She fell off the face of the earth. I couldn't get in contact with her. So
I love
a
those.
year or so later, I'm watching Boardwalk Empire, and I'm like, why does this sound so familiar? And I went back to my emails. I'm like, she just described, she must have seen the episode, and here I am, a year or two later, watching the rerun of it. Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, we get that all the time, and it's not just me. It's everybody.
Yeah.
Like I watch Bishop Brian Olette's YouTube a lot while I'm working. Because 94.7 decided to go to hip hop and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? So
Yeah.
now I unless I'm like down in Pennsylvania where I can pick up 96.1 or something, I listen to that. But anyway, he gets people all the time. I have this. Okay. What do you want me to do? He can't do anything if you don't give me any information.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get that all the time. I get an email, a phone number, and that's it. And I don't even bother calling them because they never answer the phone or an email. Yeah. I had this one guy. His name is. I'm going to give his name out because he's a pain in the butt because I'm not the only one he's done this to. His name is Dennis Pachico or something like that. And every once in a while, I'll get an email on my yeah, he's emailed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a while ago. Dennis Pacheco or something like that.
He emailed me about a month ago about his generational curse. And and this was my old email, my original team.
Okay.
And this was God, he's been emailing me for I don't know, 10 years.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, you should have found somebody by now.
Right.
But you try to get a hold of him, he doesn't answer the phone or email. So it's like, all right, whatever. Whatever. I'm not gonna chase you. I don't chase cases.
Yeah, no.
Unless it's a case I want to do.
I had one where the guy was in, I want to say it was Seaside Park or Seaside Heights or somewhere down there, maybe Tom's River. And he was, when I talked to him on the phone, he was an elderly gentleman and sounded really nice. And, he was looking to have his house looked at because I guess he had just moved in or whatever. And he said, he felt kind of strange. And we were trying to plan, time where we can go down there. And he just kind of, fell off, face the earth. A year went by, he ended up texting me. I guess he figured out how to text. And then I didn't hear from him. So I think it was like probably about maybe 6 months after that, I tried to call him and his daughter answered the phone and unfortunately he passed away. So, and she wanted nothing to do with us investigating because they'd sold the house and stuff. But yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've gotten those. Oh, I need you to come investigate, but we're selling the house. Well, how long do we have? Oh, a week. Yeah, that's not going to happen. And besides, you're selling the house. Why do you want me to investigate?
Right. Yeah.
I went down the one in Kennett Square. Said a demon was attacking her kid. She's got scratches. She's got, classic signs.
Right.
Okay, this is down in Kennett Square, all the way down by Delaware, off 95. Okay. I had to get a hotel room. Of course, I stayed in a roach motel.
Don't you love that?
Oh, there's dry blood on the chair, mold everywhere. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I am gonna literally die. But anyway, I get down there. I'm down there for the whole weekend. I never investigated. Never investigated. They wouldn't let me. I'm like, why am I here?
Right, exactly.
I'm thinking, I'm like, I really ought to charge you the rate for the hotel, at least that, and fuel.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so aggravating because it was a rush case. I rushed down there because it was a kid, and my kid's being attacked, and she wasn't even there. I had to call her and wait another half hour before she even got there. You know how awkward that was with the father staring at me?
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
But it's some of these cases. I really read the emails that come in, and I wish I had somebody else to do it because I hate reading emails.
Yeah.
But it's especially when you investigate demonic because everybody's got a freaking demon.
Of course, yep.
Of course everybody's got a demon. They're everywhere.
Yep.
Hell, they're in the White House. Not to get political or anything, but everybody in the White House is a demon. Well, every politician is a demon if you ask me, but it's what it is. I just do my thing. I go in there, I bless the house. If need be, I do what I have to do. Like we had one in Sayreville not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
And it turned out there was the family moved in there. There was a suicide. Guy cut himself in the tub.
Okay.
And and all that. And so we investigated again, nothing. The mother recently passed away of a drug overdose, but her father they put her ashes in different urns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so each of the family had kid, the brother, sister, the father, they all have their own urns. And in the move, I guess her father's got lost, so now she's a little upset.
Makes sense.
And all that, and as well as we found one of those old toolboxes, those old wooden toolboxes in there that would give off some energy. So we did it. We burned it in a blessed fire, and it's gone. But and then oh my god, I walked out of the house with the EMF meter. The EMF meter went up to like 100.
Really?
Yeah, the road is so narrow, and they got so many power lines going every which way over there. It's right off of Main Street.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was like, holy hell! I was trying to see if the kid had a dagger from World War II, and I was trying to see if it had EMF attached to it. And I said, let's go outside. Yeah, right. Literally had to walk down the street and kind of stand in an open area where no power lines were to get it. And I was like, holy hell! I said, well, that's part of your problem right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was weird, but they haven't called me back. So I really didn't bless the house or anything like that. I didn't feel I needed it. I think it's just her mother saying, "Yeah, I'm here. Hello."
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I know when my mom died, my mom would throw stuff at my father to get his ass up. But my mother's in my house now. She's she's watching over my son. So, but she hasn't bothered. She doesn't throw stuff at me. Probably because she knows I'll throw it back at her.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Relatives, they stay with you, and everybody's got a dead relative following them around somewhere along the line.
Yep.
I mean, hell, I like to know what I have.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I have some weird dreams.
On occasion, I'll see family members who passed, but it hasn't happened.
Well, I get the ones where I'm fighting a freaking demon. I had one in Highbridge. Of course, it ended up being in Allentown, and she ended up needing medical, psychological help. But I always get those, or because at night I can't sleep. It's so quiet up here, and I grew up next to the turnpike, so I'm used to noise.
Right.
So I have to put my phone on a program or something on just to fall asleep. So every once in a while, I'll watch like Ghost Adventures or You know, Married with Children. Married with Children is where I see a lot of it. I don't know why, but I do. I do. But it's yeah. And if you ask certain people say, "Oh, well, you're a medium." Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, dreams come and go, but I wouldn't call myself a medium.
Yeah.
You know.
Everybody has the ability, supposedly, everybody has the ability to,
Yeah.
see and talk. I saw an apparition on a fire call, and it was funny. We were there for a gas leak. It was a vacant building, and I was in firefighter mode, and
Mhm.
went down the stairs and into the basement area, and I saw somebody who was dressed as in like Civil War times. He was actually a worker of the building at the time, and he was smiling, and it wasn't like a creepy smile. It was kind of like almost like a "How can I help you" kind of smile. So I
Hey, you're here. Thank God.
yeah, and I kind of looked down and turned my flashlight on, and I looked up, and he was gone, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's what's going on now."
Interesting. I actually had an interview with Paranormal 911
Okay,
back back a few years ago, and they didn't use my story because they couldn't verify it
okay, yeah,
because of HIPAA. And
uh,
I wouldn't give them any name, but it was the time where I was searching a room. It was a room and contents fire. I was searching a room, and I got to the closet,
right,
and the flame came up through the floor, and I could see a face in it.
wow,
Yeah, it was wild. And then of course, I took my jacket off. I had a burn mark on my jacket.
no
Uh,
kidding,
yeah, on the tail of my jacket. I'm like, okay, I wonder how that happened.
right?
Maybe Satan tried to grab me.
Yeah,
You know, but yeah, it was weird. But they ended up not using it because they couldn't verify it. They wanted the name, the address, where it was. They tried calling the fire department. The fire department turned them down. I told you they're going to turn you down. You
yeah.
know, it's our laws are different than Canada because that production company is up in Canada.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Cream Productions.
Laws are somewhat similar, but somewhat different up there.
Yeah, so yeah, because if you watch the show, a lot of it's Canadian or other countries.
Right. Yeah.
Stuff like that. There's very few American scenes and stuff,
Right.
but um, but yeah, it was an interesting call. It was just a little room and contents fire, nothing. But it was just very smoky, and they said they didn't know if everybody was out, so I got the fun job of searching around all the toys and all the crap and all that stuff in the room. Nothing like everything falling on top of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Yep.
But
Very dangerous.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, that was interesting. That was the first and last time I saw a face in a fire, at least on a fire call, anyway.
Yeah. I can't say that I've seen that.
Yeah.
There is a picture that I have, I believe, on my external hard drive. It was from 2003. I wasn't at the fire, but it was right down the street from my firehouse. It was a bigger building caught on fire, and the picture is the flames, if I remember correctly, are coming out of the roof, and then you see a firefighter standing on the hose bed of our engine. There was no firefighter on the hose bed. There would have been no reason for the firefighter to be on a hose bed anyway.
Right.
But you can clearly see somebody standing there, and then what looks to be reflective.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, and everybody who I talked to who was at that fire for my firehouse said that there was nobody up there. Even the guy who took the picture said there was nobody up there, and he didn't even realize it. He thought nothing of it because as
Yeah.
he was through all of his photos, he's like he figured, okay, somebody was up there, and then other people were like, no, no, no one was up on that hose bed.
Yeah, 'cause
So,
there's no reason. You just pull it off, and then here it comes.
yep,
Jeez. That would be. It's probably one of your past members.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because we investigated one off of 78 um, down by the truck stops there,
Right.
and they've been having stuff for years. But one of their members had a heart attack in the kitchen, and they hear stuff, they see stuff, and all that. I still have yet to go footage. Well, I've just been so busy. But they actually had their antique. Their antique is cool. They have one of those pull engines.
Right.
It's all wooden. Or wait, is it the pull engine or is it no? No, they actually have a wooden fire truck.
Really, a wooden
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, it was cool. I mean, it's got the supports and stuff are braced, but for the most part, the body's all wood.
Huh. It's
You know,
interesting.
and you just hang ladders on. You know, it's really cool looking.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, but we thought we saw a shadow in that room and stuff. But they had during Ida, their bar got flooded out.
yeah. Hmm.
So I went down in the bar and I was doing some stuff and now the bar is bolted. The bar itself is bolted to the ground.
Right.
Okay, I'm leaning on the bar. I'm leaning on the bar. What's up, Evan? Linking the show. Thank you. And I'm leaning on the bar. All of a sudden, I feel the bar move. I'm like, what? I call everybody down. I'm like, is this bar bolted down? You know, because they're in the middle of renovating everything, so they're taking everything out because it's moldy and all that. You know, and they're like, yeah, we haven't done anything yet. I'm like, and I went to push on it, and it ain't moving. But all of a sudden, it started moving. I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I just went down with the ghost box and a recorder. I didn't even bring a camera. You know, and then we were sitting down behind one of the engines and just kind of bullshitting around and shooting the shit. You know, just like firefighters do.
Yeah.
You know, and but I gotta get it off the DVR and find out what's going on. 'Cause we had a lot of activity upstairs. We had a lot of activity upstairs. It was a good investigation.
Hmm.
And so
and I really wish I had my equipment with me, but February last year when we had all that snow,
mhm.
I was working at my former full time job as a firefighter, and I was supposed to be off at 5 o'clock that night because the firehouse shut down at 5. Um, and I didn't have a way to get home because that morning when it was snowing, I couldn't get my car out, so I had to have somebody come pick me up. So anyway, so I ended up spending the night there. And in the middle of the night, I woke up for some reason, and I was starting to go back to sleep, and I heard people talking. So I figured, okay, so the way our firehouse was we had a a carpentry shop behind us, um, and then the HVAC shop next to us. So I figured, okay, maybe one of those, a couple of those guys got stuck there. So
Yeah.
next morning I wake up and everything, and I look outside, and I don't see any tire tracks or anything like that. I don't see any cars. So then I go look into those shops, and I didn't see anybody. So yeah, I heard
Oh,
two people talking, just like I'm talking to you now. I couldn't make
yep.
anything.
You're cutting out again.
Uh, yeah, you definitely hear vocal tone and everything, but yeah, my I told my captain when he came in, and he goes, "You're lying." He doesn't believe in ghosts, but he goes, "You're." He goes, "It was probably a radio or something." I said, "Definitely wasn't a radio."
Spend
Not
time
a
in the
three.
firehouse alone.
What's that?
Spend time in the firehouse alone.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You know. But
Yep.
yeah, firehouses are always fun.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know, sometimes it scare crap out of you, but
Yeah. Mine's been
uh,
pretty quiet so far.
yeah,
Lately.
we've been on a lull. We've been on a lull for the last month and a half or so. We really haven't gotten anything, which is
Yeah. Oh
fine.
no, I meant paranormal wise.
Oh, yeah, I think I think there's a lull with everything. I mean, everything got shut down, and
Yep.
we're used to people seeing going in and out and all that. So they're probably like, "Ah, screw it, we're going to bed."
Pretty much. Yeah.
You know, I mean, even at the Hinsdale house, when we went up to the Hinsdale house, it was just me and a former member. Not one thing happened. We
Yeah.
got a couple of EVPs, but not one thing happened. And I text Dan. I'm like, dude, what the hell? He goes, what? I said, nothing's happening. I said, what'd they do? Go on strike? You know? But I guess it was just one of those things. It was also -8 degrees up there, too. So,
Maybe they're cold.
yeah, you know.
They went somewhere
And
warm.
yeah, we invited him in for to be warm. I mean, the house was like 54.
Yeah.
But, my partner is like, oh, it's too cold. I can't sleep here. Me, I'm wearing thermals and I got all my hunting gear on and all that. I'm nice and toasty warm. I got a nice thick heavy blanket. Some passed out on the couch. Yeah, they're definitely resting. At least they were that weekend. But I was perfectly fine. I actually slept good that night. I don't know if you've been up to the house, but Dan's got
Yeah.
this couch, this really comfy couch.
Now I've
Oh,
heard I've heard some people say that it's haunted or it's demonically haunted. What's your
I
take on
think. Well, the the energy there this time was a lot better than it was the first time.
that? Okay.
I mean, the first time I was actually scared to go outside. It alone. It was one of those things.
Yeah.
But he's been trying to get more positive energy into the house
Okay.
and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's all gone,
Yeah.
but I mean, the good thing about that is it's not just the house; it's the property surrounding it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got. I think they were telling me they found bones in the pond.
Wow.
Yeah, they found human bones in the pond, and they're still digging into the history of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of energy there. I think, and I know Nick Groff was there. Him and Nick Groff were there with, I guess, winners of a contest Nick had.
Yeah. Actually, I think I saw something. I think that he put out.
Yeah, they were talking about aliens.
Really?
Yeah, they had these tracks in the snow that they didn't know what they were.
Right.
Now me being a hunter, I'm thinking that's just a
Right.
coyote or fox, because I've heard them up there. I've heard them up there in the middle of the night, howling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's it was weird. But I've seen other things. I've seen other people's evidence where they say they think they might contacted aliens, which wouldn't surprise me. They're probably looking at us now laughing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hell, it was just last March. There was another alien UFO seen over High Bridge.
Really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still.
I
I
don't think
still.
it landed. Yeah, I don't think it landed, but I know in the '50s they had one land actually right behind where I work.
Really?
Yeah, this guy called Howard Menger. I think he's dead now, but he wrote a book on it.
No kidding.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to read the book. I've been busy doing other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But eventually everybody's like, "Oh, you got to read this book, read that book." I can't.
Yeah. Exactly. You're busy.
I'm one freaking
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's that. I'm definitely going back. I'm just going back when it's warmer.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it was so cold, my truck didn't want to start.
That's upstate New York, right?
Yeah, it's about five hours or so.
Wow.
And the closest hotel is in Cuba. Actually, closest everything is in Cuba. In Cuba, New York. It's like the exit before Hinsdale, the Hinsdale exit. And it's definitely a place to go. Definitely a place to go. You can spend the night there. You can sleep there. You can spend the whole weekend there. You can spend the whole week there if you want to. Dan don't care. Yeah, and another good place to go is Wildwood Sanitarium
Yes.
in Salamanca.
Yeah.
That's an awesome place to go. That's an awesome place to go. Very active. At least last time we were there in 2019.
Yeah, I think you live streamed from there, right? I think it was, or no?
I have live streamed from there, I think, but
I remember
haven't
I was at work watching one of your live streams. I forget which. You might have been either Hinsdale House or there.
I did live stream at Hinsdale.
Yep. Yeah,
I did live stream at Hinsdale, but nobody wanted to come out and play. I said, "Come on, you'll be famous."
Yeah.
Nope. They said, "Screw you. It's too cold."
They're probably like, "How's he gonna pay us?"
I mean, like I said, it was minus 8 degrees the one night.
Nope.
And of course, my dumb ass couldn't figure out where the thermostat was in the house. So the heat's on low, and it's like 54 degrees in there, and I'm like, this is fine. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't do well in the cold.
Yeah, well, I dressed for the weather. I brought extra socks, pants, sweatpants, shirts. I brought all my hunting gear with me and stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm dressing for the weather. I know what it's like up there. I've been up there in upstate New York in the middle of winter.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, if you definitely have time, get up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get up there this year. You still have a full team, or
So
is your ex-wife still on the team, or is she?
No, she's actually doing her own thing. She's kind of getting into her career, which is awesome. But yeah, she kind of. I'm sure if I was able to, ask her beforehand, a couple weeks or
Mhm.
so, maybe plan around it. But um, yeah, the one guy who's on our team, he's got some family stuff going on. And then the other girl, she's just busy with her family and work and everything. So right now there's two of us.
Yeah.
So we are looking for people. Now the only thing is we're looking for people who are experienced and who may have had a background in emergency services. And the reason why is because our what I'm trying to do with our videos going forward is instead of just saying, that we're, paranormal research analysis team or Pratt or whatever, I kind of did like, or I don't want to say I ripped it off, but I kind of took how like Taps did it. They have the show Ghost Hunters, but they're
Yeah.
Taps. We're
Yeah.
Pratt, but we're paranormal responders. And in my opening, I say that we have been or are currently emergency responders, and you know, kind of go with the theme. But if if somebody were to come investigate
I
with us
did
or ask,
that.
it,
I did that. I did that with my first team. I bought an old Crown Vic,
yeah, I remember that.
old railway police car. Put lights in it. Had the ecto siren in it.
Yeah,
That was a fun car.
yep.
That was a fun car. And that thing had 230,000 miles on it. It was still going strong when I sold it.
Didn't Joe Chin sign the dashboard?
No, that was Mike. Mike
Oh, that
King did.
was like I
Yeah, Mike
thought
King
maybe,
did.
I thought Joe Chin did something with you,
Not that I can remember.
and maybe I was confusing
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah, but no, that was Mike King. But
yeah.
it's funny because I'm just for the hell of it. Every once in a while, I search Crown Vics and stuff, and um, I saw it on Facebook Marketplace, and and the guy wanted 1,500 for it, which is what I sold it to him for. But he blew the transmission in it.
Oh, okay.
I was like, well, I guess I'm not buying it back.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, that was a great car. I think barreled through the snow.
Oh yeah,
That
they're
was
good
that was a
cars.
great car.
Yep.
Great car, powerful car. My wife wouldn't even drive it.
Yeah, they're
She
fast.
hated it. Even with 230,000 miles on the original engine and parts, it would still freaking outrun anybody.
Yeah, I
That
remember
was a great car.
when I was a cop down in Maryland. Guys were fast. I remember the first time getting behind one of those. Like,
Yeah, they're cool.
yep.
I drove Edison's the one night to a fire, and it was actually our deputy chief's car, the volunteers deputy chief car,
Yep.
and so boy, you never realize how small it is until you're wearing all your turnout gear.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there driving it like this because you can't move your arms, and
Yep.
you got the window open. It's -2 degrees, and you're like, oh, room, you know. But even that car, that was a good car too. That was an old Innocent police car,
Oh, okay.
and that they just converted. They just repainted and made it the fire chief's vehicle. But yeah, they're great cars. I'd like to get another one, but I think what I'm going to look at into once I get my financial situation straightened out again, thanks to good old New Jersey, because they screwed me with unemployment this year,
Okay.
so they still owe me like 2 weeks and all that. I'm pretty much caught up, and now I just got to get money back in the bank.
Yeah.
But the I'd like to get a van,
Yeah. Van be good.
like a 8 passenger, like a 16 passenger van or something with a little bit of room to put gear in and stuff. So we could all just meet somewhere and everybody just drive down, you know, and
Yeah, it's
stuff
not a
like
bad
that.
idea.
So I don't know. It just seems with the way gas is right now. It seems right. Everybody keeps telling me to get electric. Like no,
Yeah. No.
no. I've been seeing a lot of Teslas ablaze lately.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, like all over
It's
the place.
something with the batteries.
I almost got hit by a Tesla actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right before Christmas, we were we did a parade, and I was getting out of the engine, and I was walking, and I turned back to talk to somebody, or actually our deputy chief, and he goes, watch in front of you, you're gonna get hit by a car." I'm like, I don't hear anything. And I looked. I'm like, oh, that's a Tesla. I didn't hear it. Didn't hear it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. There's an issue with them with the battery, and that they'll just burst into flames. I know I was following a towing company, and they towed one. It burned up. It burned 3 times, once on the highway and twice in their yard. And they had to. It was something with the battery overheating, I think they said. So they just flipped the car on its roof. So when it burnt, when it caught fire again, the fire department would just come in and hose it down.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, let's buy Teslas because they are crap.
Yeah.
They are crap. I towed one that had a dead battery, and when the battery dies, it locks all the wheels.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And I went, and the guy's like, "Oh, you can't drag it." That's nice. Watch me. 2:00 in the morning. 2:00 in the morning on the Jersey Turnpike, and I'm towing this car, and this guy's yelling at me how to do my job. I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. Goodbye. Go get in the truck before you get hit." I was like, screw this. Drag it up, and they call it a night.
Yeah.
But they're garbage. They are garbage. Nobody buy a Tesla. Nobody. Nobody buy electric.
I'm good with my Impala. I like it.
Yeah. You still got that Impala?
No, it's a different one. This
Oh.
one's newer. Yeah. I had the original Pal that you knew me with, and then I had a pickup truck, which I loved my pickup truck. The transmission started going, so I figured, let me make this somebody else's problem before it becomes my own. So then I did the trade-in, got the Impala.
Nice. Yeah, you still talk to Kenny?
Of course, yeah. Talked
to
him earlier.
Is he still a bigger whacker as he was back then?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
I heard he got into trouble responding to Madison Park First Aid. He ran the Sayreville mayor's mother off the road or something like that.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It was somebody that knew him told me unless they were just telling me because they don't like him.
Yeah, no, he would have definitely told me about that. No.
Huh. Yeah, it would. Oh well. Rumor stopped.
Yep.
But we're reaching that point of the show. 8 o'clock. 7:54. Even though we started a little bit early today, but that's fine. And of course, computer decided to be stupid.
Yeah.
A brand new computer and runs this computer here. And it's got all kinds of crap on it and it runs faster than this one does. Brand new. Don't know why. I hate computers. So,
yeah.
So if anybody in Middlesex County needs Rob, it's been his website's been strolling across the bottom of the screen there. Contact him, and if you need any help, give me a shout. And if we're around, which this year we'll probably be around. we're not doing much this year.
Yep.
At a stage, but I'll come out, or I'll have couple of my team members come out with me, and we'll do that. And if you want to do the train wreck, it's April 2nd.
I am working that weekend, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, I'll be going live and stuff like that too. So.
All right.
But
thank you for having me on your show as, I guess, the first guest, right?
Yeah, you're episode number 1, officially episode number 1. I mean, we've done a couple others, but kind of like as a test broadcast. But I seem to have it down if my computer would cooperate. So, but all right, thank you for coming on. And like I said, anybody who needs his help down in Middlesex County, give him a shout. And or he can call me, I can call him, and we can hook everybody up. So, all right, and just hang on a sec. I'm gonna end the broadcast, and thank you formally. All right, everybody. So next week we have Evan Jensen coming on. I think he's still in the chat room. Yeah, there he is. Nope, no, he's not. If he's still watching, we have Evan Jensen coming on. He's an author. He's a writer. Paranormal Herald is his newspaper. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I know I put it up on our pages. So check that out, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.